Our planet looked nothing like today, but life was just beginning to stir.
As the planet cooled, oceans began to form, life's cradle.
Deep in the oceans, life's first sparks came from boiling vents. Deep-sea vents provided the perfect chemistry for early organisms.
The first living cells appeared, tiny but world-changing.
Cyanobacteria harnessed sunlight, beginning photosynthesis. Oxygen began to fill the air, changing Earth forever.
Stromatolites built reefs, creating the planet's first ecosystems.
These tiny organisms quietly shaped Earth's destiny.
Oceans recorded oxygen's arrival in massive stone archives.
With time, Earth grew calmer, giving life space to thrive. Earth itself was being remade by life. Life's first chapter had ended,
But the story was just beginning.
The stage was set for life to evolve like never before.
Cells began specializing, some for movement, some for feeding.
By now, Earth's oceans were bursting with variety. Life was here to stay.
Morphals. New body designs flourished, setting the stage for an evolutionary explosion.
Some of the largest multicellular organisms Earth had ever seen appeared here.
The dance between predator and prey fueled explosive innovation.
What came next would rewrite the history of life, the Cambrian explosion. Microbes formed slimy biofilms that clung to every surface. Cells began working together as larger organisms.
Cells grew more complex, evolving internal control centers.
Billions of tiny microbes started changing Earth forever by filling the air with oxygen. The first step toward multicellular life came from colonies of cells sticking together.
The oceans came alive with floating, delicate creatures like jellyfish, drifting with the tides.
Early life began experimenting with new body shapes. Symmetry was born.
Some Ediacaran creatures grew into giant disc-like forms.
Ecosystems expanded, with shallow reefs becoming bustling homes for strange new creatures.
Simple eyes began to appear, sensing light and movement.
Reefs of living rock stood tall in the oceans.
Reefs became bustling hubs of early life.
One cell swallowed another, creating partnerships that lasted forever.
For the first time, oxygen levels began to climb.
These clusters began sharing jobs, communicating to survive. Simple but vital, sponge-like organisms formed the foundation of marine ecosystems.
For the first time, animals developed a head and tail, an evolutionary breakthrough.
They relied on currents to bring food straight to them.
On the seafloor, worm-like animals carved paths that reshaped the ocean environment.
Over 600 million years ago, Earth was almost unrecognizable. Vast oceans ruled the world, and land was empty.
With vision came awareness. Creatures could see danger coming.
Life proved it could endure extremes of heat and cold.
Photosynthesis flooded Earth with even more oxygen. Eukaryotes, the ancestors of all plants and animals, were born. Oceans, once filled with dissolved iron, suddenly rusted, painting the seafloor red. Among the earliest animals were sponges, filtering nutrients from seawater. Worm-like animals reshaped the ocean floor, leaving behind some of the earliest traces of life. Simple nervous systems emerged, allowing creatures to sense and react. Odd disc-shaped life forms thrived in clusters, like alien colonies beneath the waves.
The seas grew crowded with more life than ever before.
Others pulsed through the water like ancient jellyfish. No trees, no grass, no animals on land. Just waves carving ancient rocks.
Some even learned to glow in the darkness.
These layers became permanent records of the Great Oxidation Event.
Muscle-like tissues gave animals the power to move with purpose.
The Great Oxidation Event had begun.
These new cells spread across the seas. Then came the mysterious Ediacaran biota, alien-looking life forms we still struggle to understand.
Some species looked almost alien, flat and mysterious life forms carpeting the seabed.
Burrows became common, showing animals exploring sediments for food. Tiny, drifting life filled the seas, feeding the growth of entire ecosystems. Some even evolved bioluminescence, glowing in the dark waters. Tide pools became miniature worlds of life. Life diversified into countless forms.
Oxygen levels stabilized, setting the stage for the future.
Yet some microbes adapted, evolving to use this strange new element. Others grew into fronds, feeding by capturing drifting nutrients. Early reef builders began shaping ecosystems that would one day host massive biodiversity. Others began hardening their bodies with minerals, the first step toward skeletons. They often lived side by side, forming diverse communities. In response, creatures evolved tougher bodies.
Oceans now dominated the planet with vibrant life.
Some microbes built shells to protect themselves. The survivors adapted and grew stronger in the oxygen-rich seas. Two worlds of life, simple and complex, shared the oceans. Tiny worm-like animals began to move, digging into sediments. Tiny filter feeders turned the oceans into rich, nutrient-filled habitats. Some evolved internal digestive systems, more efficient than ever before.
Some grew large, spreading out to capture sunlight and nutrients.
Predation appeared for the first time. Life began eating life.
But for early life, oxygen was poison, a deadly new world order. Diversity exploded, with countless new forms appearing.
Earth was settling into the stable home of life.
But oxygen was toxic to many early microbes. Mass extinctions followed. Some cells stuck together, the first step toward multicellular life. The sky itself transformed, turning blue for the very first time. Whole colonies of life grew together, swaying gently with the ancient currents.
Vast meadows of strange life stretched for miles under the waves.
From reefs to drifting swarms, Earth's ecosystems were no longer simple. They were thriving and diverse. In just a blink of geological time, life took a giant leap. Soft-bodied organisms floated through oceans, unlike anything alive today.
Life learned cooperation, colonies thriving together as one.
Entire coastlines were blanketed by microbial life.
The oceans themselves sparkled with oxygen. Evening skies watched over the first flourishing biosphere.
An invisible shield formed, ozone, protecting life from deadly radiation.
Whole seafloors became meadows of bizarre multicellular forms.
Tiny creatures swarmed in the open seas, creating a thriving food web.
Animals started leaving tracks, evidence of mobility across the seafloor.
The first shells were born, a survival tool that changed evolution forever.
The stage was set for the Cambrian explosion.
The seabed was alive, but with simple mats of microbes. Storms could rip them apart, reshaping whole ecosystems overnight. Some life ventured into the deep, far from sunlight. On calm shores, microbial carpets spread endlessly.
By now, Earth was alive from shore to shore.
For now, there were no predators. Life lived in peace.
Some left behind mysterious imprints, the first real animal fossils. Then, something incredible began. Life became multicellular. For the first time, life developed real complexity, layered bodies and movement.
Oxygen opened the door to more energy, more complexity, and bigger life forms.
But many could regrow, bouncing back from destruction.
Others burrowed deeper, hiding from the dangers above. Evolution's gears were turning faster than ever. Dickinsonia crept slowly, leaving trails behind it. Oxygen surged into the seas, fueling an explosion of possibilities for life.
Fossil trails show us their movements, even if their bodies are gone.
The giants of the Ediacaran began to vanish.
Each adaptation sparked another, and life's arms race accelerated.
Predators kept prey populations in check, shaping evolution.
This was life's first great arms race, fueling an explosion of diversity. Even in the darkest depths, hydrothermal vents became oases of thriving life. Tiny movers became the architects of the next chapter of life. In just a few million years, life became more diverse than ever before. This was truly Earth's alien age. Life was strange, colorful, and experimental.
Some trilobites even explored vertical structures, hinting at new niches.
Food chains emerged, building complex ecosystems unlike anything before. Some of these creatures defy classification. They were experiments of life.
Oceans filled with oxygen, setting the stage for a revolution. Predation began here. Life learned to hunt.
Meet Marella, a tiny, bug-like swimmer found in ancient rocks.
Reefs, cradles of diversity, emerged as bustling underwater cities. Molting was a dangerous but necessary process for growth.
Algae and seaweed provided homes, food, and camouflage.
Oceans became unstable, and many creatures could not survive.
The hunt was on, and prey had to evolve quick reflexes to survive. Some grew taller than humans, creating underwater gardens.
They may have reproduced by cloning across the seafloor. Burrowing animals disrupted the seafloor, reshaping habitats.
Creatures learned to dig, leaving behind the first complex burrows.
Its attacks sent trilobites scrambling across the sand. Life was no longer just floating. It was digging, crawling, and spreading underground.
Even tiny creatures like Marella evolved delicate, Efficient swimming appendages. Microscopic plankton still powered the ecosystem as the primary food source. Reefs became underwater cities, hosting entire communities of life.
The smallest organisms still powered the largest food webs.
Crinoids, the sea lilies, flourished in the shallow waters.
Earth was preparing for a turning point, the Cambrian explosion, when life would truly erupt. The strange world of the Ediacaran was gone, but the oceans were ready. The Cambrian explosion was about to ignite. The Cambrian seas had transformed into a living laboratory of evolution. At night, the seas shimmered with alien light.
Creatures like Dickinsonia disappeared forever. Some creatures even developed complex eyes. The world had never seen vision like this.
That nightmare mouth. Perfectly evolved for crunching trilobites.
By now, reefs teemed with life, the first bustling underwater cities. Pikaya's movements foreshadowed the first true backbones. Reefs became architectural marvels, shaping habitats for the future. Sprigina may have been among the first creatures to crawl.
Their bodies left impressions that became fossils.
Tiny plankton filled the seas, forming the base of a brand new food web.
Opabinia had 5 eyes and a grabbing claw. Definitely nightmare fuel.
Burrowing worms reshaped the ocean floor, creating new habitats.
Opabinia's unique eyes gave it a predator's edge. Trilobites dominated, each species carving out its own survival strategy.
Many of these creatures left behind fossils that survive today.
Predators were testing new ways to survive, reshaping entire ecosystems.
By the end of the Ediacaran, much of this world was gone.
The Cambrian explosion had set the stage for more complex life to evolve, and next came the Ordovician seas. Around 541 million years ago, the Cambrian explosion began. Life suddenly burst into diversity.
Their bodies were fractal, repeating patterns like living math.
Colonies of Dickinsonia stretched for meters.
Only their fossils remain to tell their story.
Hallucigenia looked like it came from another planet. Spikes on its back, legs sticking everywhere.
Strange new creatures began crawling across the ocean floor.
Trilobites weren't alone. They moved in huge swarms across the seabed.
Hallucigenia's odd body plan shows evolution's experimental phase.
In a blink of geologic time, oceans erupted with new and bizarre life.
By the end of the Cambrian, ecosystems were diverse and interconnected.
Even the tiniest hunters had to survive in a competitive world.
Dickinsonia absorbed nutrients directly through its skin.
Some giants stood taller than any other animal of their time. Predation may have played a role, changing ecosystems forever. Trilobites, one of the most iconic Cambrian creatures, were everywhere.
The top predator? Anomalocaris, a meter-long hunter with a circular mouth.
Trilobites flourished, feeding across the seabed in massive numbers. Meet Anomalocaris, the ocean's first apex predator.
Predation shaped life, forcing adaptation at every level.
The Ordovician seas teemed with life: trilobites, brachiopods, and the first true corals. Predation drove evolution. Survival meant getting faster, sharper, smarter.
Even predators had rivals. Territory was life or death.
But nothing lasts forever. Earth was changing again.
Mass behaviors emerged. Trilobites sensed danger and fled together.
For the first time, animals grazed on microbial pastures.
Continents drifted, seas changed, and life prepared for something new. Simple filter feeders thrived, cleaning the oceans. Reefs started forming, tiny creatures building entire ecosystems.
Tiny plankton fed giants, linking the ocean in a vast web of life.
Seaweed and algae provided shelter and food for many species.
Some Cambrian animals looked so alien, we can barely believe they existed. These trails are some of the first records of animal behavior. Tiny, drifting graptolites floated like delicate underwater ribbons. This was Earth's first great ecosystem of large, complex life.
Armor became the new strategy, protection against the growing threat of hunters.
Some worms even grew fearsome jaws to grab prey. Even the first chordates had to develop speed to survive.
Even the smallest creatures became dangerous hunters.
Others, like Tribrachidium, had body plans unlike any living creature.
The age of Ediacaran life faded into history.
The oceans were shallow, warm, and perfect for life to evolve.
Some trilobites even fought for space, hinting at complex behaviors. Even predators competed, driving evolution forward.
Early predators like nautiloids dominated the open ocean.
The variety of body plans exploded into new shapes.
Volcanoes reshaped the world, releasing ash and gases. Much of what we know about these creatures comes from the Burgess Shale fossils.
Tiny Pacaya may have been one of our earliest distant ancestors. Life exploded into new forms, colors, and strategies. Life had exploded across the oceans, filling every niche imaginable. What we know of them comes from stone imprints, frozen in time. Early jellyfish floated silently, predators in the water column. Predators evolved speed and power, forcing prey to adapt. Others grew massive by simply filtering the endless plankton-rich seas.
Brachiopods filtered nutrients from the water, ancient ocean gardeners.
Plants and animals evolved together, shaping each other's survival.
Giant arthropods ruled the early forests, some reaching impressive sizes.
Vertebrates adapted to life on land, stepping into a new world.
These forests trapped sunlight and moisture, creating perfect habitats.
Flight began with pterosaurs, opening the skies to reptiles.
Grazing herbivores left visible marks, shaping plant communities.
Footprints tell stories of ancient giants moving across the land.
Flowers and insects co-evolved, creating new ecosystems.
Agile predators hunted anything they could catch, balancing the food web.
Flight allowed access to food unavailable to ground dwellers.
Deltas and wetlands were teeming with life, a preview of future forests.
Plants were growing taller, forming shade and shelter for animals.
Waterways became nurseries for both aquatic and terrestrial life.
Insects ruled the air in unmatched numbers and sizes.
Tiny mammal-like reptiles began diversifying, preparing for the Mesozoic world.
Small mammals stayed hidden, thriving in the shadow of dinosaurs.
The Earth was alive with giants, each adapted to its niche.
Herds provided safety, moving in unison across ancient forests.
Flight gave pterosaurs unmatched hunting advantages over water and land. The predator-prey dynamics reached epic scales, thrilling, yet deadly.
Predation on land started small, but would soon become fierce.
Fish evolved new fins and jaws, dominating both predator and prey roles.
Teeth evolved for herbivory and predation, each species uniquely adapted.
Life on land had complex food webs, just like oceans.
Primitive forests provided cover and food for the first land giants.
Life adapted to dry and challenging climates, proving resilience. Herbivores relied on rivers for survival, shaping landscapes around them.
Flying reptiles dominated skies, searching for fish and small prey.
Pollination co-evolved with dinosaurs roaming below, sustaining ecosystems.
The first vertebrates began venturing onto land, a major evolutionary leap.
Flight opened a whole new world for insects, creating aerial ecosystems.
Volcanic activity shaped landscapes, creating new habitats for emerging species.
Reproduction moved to high, safe places, away from ground predators. The seas were alive with speed, teeth, and teeth-chilling chases.
New generations hatched, ensuring survival of these giants.
Spores spread life far and wide, slowly greening the continents.
Decomposition recycled nutrients, fueling a thriving ecosystem. Oceans mirrored land ecosystems, full of predators and prey.
As the day ended, the titans of the Cretaceous left their mark on Earth. The land was no longer barren. Life had firmly taken its first steps. Insects were taking to the air, claiming new territories above the ground.
Life had conquered the air, the ground, and the water. A true planetary takeover.
Marine reptiles adapted alongside their land cousins, filling oceans with predators.
In the Jurassic, gigantic herbivores like Brachiosaurus towered over the forests.
Crocodile-like reptiles lurked in rivers, waiting for unsuspecting prey.
The Cretaceous brought the ultimate predator, Tyrannosaurus rex.
Agility and cunning made raptors formidable hunters.
By the end of the Paleozoic, life had fully conquered land, water, and air.
The oceans mirrored the land, full of predators and prey. Water and land were interconnected in these early habitats. Forests provided shelter, food, and complexity for terrestrial life.
Land and sea ecosystems intertwined, shaping each other's evolution.
Earth's land was green, alive, and filled with new forms of life.
Herd behavior emerged early, offering protection and social structure. As the Triassic ended, dinosaurs were poised to dominate the Mesozoic. As the day ended, the giants of the Jurassic left their mark on Earth.
The skies were alive with winged reptiles, masters of the air.
Hunting strategies became more sophisticated in this predator-rich world.
Herbivore giants shaped the forests simply by walking through them.
Shadows of predators in the sky warned of danger below.
The Devonian is known as the Age of Fish. Oceans swarmed with armored hunters. The Carboniferous forests were massive, creating Earth's first dense woodlands.
The Triassic period saw the first dinosaurs step onto the scene. Small, but swift.
Insects thrived, pollinating plants and providing food for small reptiles.
Stegosaurus, with its armored plates, was a formidable herbivore of its time.
Insects thrived in abundance, pollinating early flowers and ferns.
Defensive adaptations ensured survival against top predators.
The seas remained dangerous, with predators evolving faster than ever. Massive herbivores like Triceratops moved in protective herds.
Predators ruled both land and sea in parallel worlds.
On land, early forests began to emerge, changing the planet's surface.
Roots stabilized soil, allowing forests to expand further.
The first reptiles appeared, able to live further from water.
Rivers were filled with early vertebrates, bridging water and land.
Life was everywhere, from water to land. Predators adapted to each niche.
The oceans were ruled by sleek marine predators, mirroring land dominance.
Natural events constantly challenged life, forcing adaptation and survival.
Social behavior helped young survive in a dangerous world.
Skin and scales evolved to adapt to environment and predators.
The first birds appeared, bridging dinosaurs and modern avians.
Reefs became more complex, housing predators, herbivores, and scavengers.
Plant litter helped build soil, creating stable habitats for animals.
Flight also meant new ways to reproduce safely, high above ground predators. The skies were alive with flying reptiles, hunting fish and insects. Giant marine predators ruled the oceans alongside land titans.
Tyrannosaurus's bite was one of the most powerful ever. A perfect predator.
Wetlands provided food, water, and shelter to diverse species.
Rivers hid deadly predators, waiting for unwary prey.
Amphibians thrived in these lush, oxygen-rich forests.
Tiny predators kept ecosystems in balance, hunting anything they could catch.
Height was an advantage, accessing food unreachable by others. Nesting strategies ensured survival of the next generation.
New types of fish began exploring niches across the seas. The first land hunters were small but efficient predators.
Meganeura, a giant dragonfly, ruled the skies with a wingspan over 2 feet.
Early herbivores munched on primitive ferns, shaping plant evolution.
Coordination and intelligence enhanced hunting success. Herds and solitary giants roamed vast landscapes, shaping the ecosystem.
Armor and defense mechanisms evolved to counter ever larger predators.
Hunting strategies became more sophisticated as predators evolved.
Predators evolved in parallel, keeping herbivore populations in check.
Speed and intelligence gave raptors an edge over their prey.
Predators evolved alongside prey, balancing the early post-dinosaur ecosystem.
Social behavior strengthened survival and spread of knowledge.
Teeth adapted to diet, shaping survival and evolution.
Pollination thrived, keeping forests lush and mammals well fed.
Some mammals took to the night, avoiding daytime predators.
Giant herbivores like Titanotheres roamed peacefully, shaping vegetation.
Waterways were lifelines, attracting all manner of mammals.
Early relatives of elephants grazed near water, thriving in wetlands.
Early predators adapted to forest life, ensuring dynamic ecosystems.
As the day ended, mammals had firmly claimed their place on Earth.
Survival of the fittest became the law of the land for mammals. Predators evolved alongside prey, ensuring a balanced ecosystem.
Fur evolved for warmth and camouflage in diverse environments. Hunting strategies became more sophisticated with ecosystem complexity. As the sun set, mammals quietly claimed the earth, starting a new era. The forest canopy became a rich playground for climbing mammals.
Nighttime offered safety and a new hunting ground for smaller mammals.
Rodents became a backbone of early mammal ecosystems.
Rivers connected habitats, allowing species to migrate and expand.
Grasslands emerged, and giant herbivores like rhinos began to dominate.
The ice ages reshaped the planet, covering much of the Earth in ice. As the sun set, the Ice Age world settled into cold, yet thriving ecosystems. Movement and migration ensured survival in changing climates.
Knowledge transfer became the cornerstone of human progress. Every member contributed to sustaining the community.
Thick fur and fat protected mammoths from extreme cold.
Caves provided shelter from harsh weather and predators. Fire turned raw food into energy-rich meals, fueling growth. Adornment marked identity and culture among early humans. Specialized skills led to early crafts and artistry.
Giant mammoths roamed the frigid landscapes, adapted to cold climates.
Homo erectus began exploring open landscapes, marking a new chapter in human evolution. Observation and strategy became essential skills for survival.
Caution and awareness were vital for survival.
Tracking prey required keen observation and teamwork. Observation and creativity marked the rise of culture.
Storage systems allowed food to last through harsh seasons. Irrigation allowed the land to flourish, supporting large populations.
Predators adapted their strategies to the icy environment.
Even under the cold night sky, life thrived with fire and ingenuity.
Every tool represented innovation and survival skills. Predators thrived even in harsh Ice Age conditions. Water sources were precious oases in frozen landscapes.
Communication and emotion strengthened social bonds.
Art emerged, expressing thoughts and beliefs on cave walls. Even under the stars, human ingenuity and community thrived.
Humans navigated vast landscapes, coexisting with megafauna.
Architecture evolved to provide better shelter and community organization.
Neanderthals adapted to Ice Age conditions, enduring cold with ingenuity.
Water management was key to successful agriculture. Migration became crucial for survival in harsh climates. Tools amplified human capabilities, opening doors to survival and innovation. Teamwork allowed humans to challenge even the largest Ice Age giants. Toolmaking became more sophisticated, aiding hunting and survival. Art and ritual became expressions of culture and identity.
Surplus food allowed populations to grow and specialize. Writing emerged, recording trade, laws, and stories for posterity. Glaciers carved valleys and reshaped continents over millennia.
Every tool told a story of survival and adaptation.
Under dancing lights, humans dreamed, survived, and innovated.
Craftsmanship became essential for daily life and survival.
Hardy herbivores adapted to open, icy grasslands.
Glaciers carved breathtaking valleys that would last for eons. Sharper tools meant more efficient hunting and protection.
Mastery of fire transformed daily life, providing warmth and protection.
Shelters offered protection, showing early architectural skills.
Cooperation allowed humans to take on formidable prey.
Strategic thinking became key to thriving in challenging environments.
Caves offered warmth and security, central to early human life.
Villages began to emerge, forming the first human communities.
Daily life included both work and leisure, fostering community bonds.
Even in frozen conditions, life found ways to survive.
Social bonds helped mammals survive the extreme cold.
Cooperative hunting allowed humans to take on prey much larger than themselves.
Transporting resources ensured survival during harsh winters.
By the end of the Pleistocene, humans had mastered survival and laid the foundations for civilization. Pottery allowed cooking and storage, improving diet and health.
Trade brought new materials, skills, and cultural exchange.
Trade connected cities and spread wealth and ideas.
Clothing adaptations allowed expansion into colder regions.
Sharing food reinforced social bonds and survival.
Hands and intelligence combined to create tools for survival and hunting.
Survival meant enduring extreme weather day after day. Even under ice, life adapted and persisted in delicate balance. Fire brought warmth, safety, and the beginnings of social life.
Observation of nature guided survival and strategy.
Humans transitioned from hunting-gathering to farming, transforming life forever. Communities flourished as settlements expanded.
Cooking made food more nutritious, fueling brain growth and strength.
Clothing enabled humans to survive colder climates. Irrigation transformed arid land into productive farmland. Religion guided daily life, influencing governance and culture.
Skilled artisans produced pottery, tools, and art for society.
Forests receded as glaciers advanced, shaping ecosystems. Small predators played a vital role in the frozen ecosystem. Knowledge passed down through generations ensured survival.
Migration allowed humans to explore and colonize new lands.
Rituals strengthened community and shared beliefs.
Shelters became safe havens against predators and elements.
Domestication of animals provided reliable food and labor.
Villages evolved into early cities, centers of trade and governance. Passing knowledge to the next generation ensured survival and culture. Art became a way to express identity, beliefs, and culture.
The clash of ice and land created dramatic landscapes and habitats.
Skillful hands turned stone into life-saving tools.
Plant gathering was as vital as hunting for sustenance.
Shelters offered protection and comfort in harsh environments.
Planning ahead ensured survival during harsh seasons.
Sharing reinforced bonds and community resilience.
Harvesting crops became the cornerstone of human settlements.
Trade networks began connecting distant communities.
Mountains became refuges for many Ice Age species.
Mesopotamia became the first urban civilization, with monumental structures shaping society.
In Rome, laws and decrees were etched into wax, stone, and bronze for the public. Later, monks painstakingly copied manuscripts, preserving ancient knowledge through the Middle Ages.
Yet fragile knowledge was often lost, consumed by war, fire, or neglect. From stone to scrolls, every medium shaped how we remembered and shared our world.
Then came paper, lighter, cheaper, and destined to spread ideas across the world.
The foundations of recorded history still echo today: our words, our stories, our memory.
Cities needed protection, leading to organized armies and strategy.
Daily life included work, learning, and recreation.
Music and culture enriched daily life and social cohesion. Fertile lands enabled population growth and societal complexity. Art immortalized beliefs, rulers, and legends for eternity.
Monetary systems began facilitating trade efficiency.
Learning and observation fueled early scientific and cultural advances.
Diplomacy forged early international relationships.
Crafts expressed identity, status, and creativity.
Spirituality guided daily life and societal values.
In China, messages to the ancestors were etched into bones and shells.
Crafts and trade supported the flourishing urban economy.
Efficient storage and distribution ensured survival through dry seasons. By the Dale's end, human civilization had firmly planted roots across continents. By this era, human civilizations flourished across continents, shaping the world's future.
Cities at crossroads became melting pots of commerce and culture. Grand projects reflected wealth, power, and cultural identity. As darkness fell, the achievements of humanity illuminated the world. The world's first libraries stored clay tablets, archives of human thought.
Record-keeping allowed civilizations to organize complex economies.
Merchants, sanitation, and planning reflected remarkable foresight.
Agriculture provided the foundation for population growth and stability.
Communities thrived along the fertile riverbanks of the Nile. Agriculture and urban life were closely interconnected.
Rituals reinforced beliefs and social unity. Food preservation ensured survival through seasons. Goods carried not just value, but knowledge and ideas.
Empires grew by conquest, trade, and alliances. Architecture became a symbol of civilization's achievements.
Not all writing used words. The Inca tied meaning into knots called quipus. Numbers revolutionized trade, measurement, and planning. Civilizations flourished across continents, shaping the foundation of recorded history. By evening, the bustling cities settled into calm, signaling human achievement. Early settlements were interlinked, forming the basis for future states. Trade routes connected distant civilizations, spreading goods, ideas, and culture. By nightfall, early empires thrived, shaping civilization's future.
Passing knowledge ensured cultural continuity. Egypt's landscape combined natural beauty with human ingenuity.
The Indus cities combined practicality with beauty and order.
By day's end, connections between civilizations had already transformed the world.
By evening, knowledge continued to grow,
laying foundations for history.
From the dawn of farming to early empires, humanity had laid the foundations of history.
Centuries later, the Rosetta Stone unlocked forgotten languages of the past.
The Indus Valley cities were planned with remarkable precision. Life included both work and leisure, fostering community bonds.
Animal labor improved efficiency and crop yields. Animal labor improved efficiency and crop yields.
The Nile nurtured life, giving rise to one of the most iconic civilizations.
Along the Yellow River, early Chinese civilization took root.
Writing emerged as a tool to record trade, laws, and stories. City-states organized society, law, and defense. Recording events ensured lessons of the past were preserved. Maps helped humans navigate and understand their world.
Long before books, humans etched symbols into stone to preserve memory. Agriculture along the Nile supported dense populations and stability.
Advanced water management supported dense populations.
Agriculture sustained growing populations and societal development.
Rulers combined political power with religious authority.
Cities became hubs of economy, culture, and daily life.
Pottery served practical and cultural purposes.
Rivers were highways for commerce and cultural exchange.
Symbols preserved knowledge for generations to come.
Culture, tradition, and community were central to early societies.
History began as stories, spoken around fires, passed from one generation to the next.
Craftsmanship enabled trade, innovation, and cultural expression.
Crafts supported storage, trade, and daily life.
Trade and communication connected humanity like never before. Writing preserved culture, history, and religion for generations.
Trade spread goods, ideas, and cultural influence.
Civilizations became increasingly linked, shaping a global human network.
Divination records shaped governance and culture.
Governance structures ensured order and justice.
History was being written, preserving the legacy of early civilizations. Records of trade, taxes, and harvests laid the foundation of organized society.
Herodotus and others transformed memory into history, recording events for future generations.
Pyramids symbolized Pharaoh's power and the civilization's architectural genius.
Irrigation made agriculture reliable, feeding cities and trade.
Even young members contributed to community survival.
Military power protected and expanded empires. By day's end, human civilization had reached unprecedented complexity.
Water control was vital for successful crops and community growth.
Markets became hubs of innovation and interaction.
Seals documented trade and administration in urban centers.
Observation of the heavens guided calendars and agriculture. Then came writing. Mesopotamian scribes pressed cuneiform into clay tablets.
Urban planning reflected advanced civic organization.
Rivers provided food, transportation, and opportunities for commerce.
Knowledge transfer ensured continuity of culture and skills.
Oases provided rest and resources for long-distance travelers.
Administration supported the functioning of growing civilizations.
Training and strategy ensured survival and defense of communities.
The Nile was Egypt's highway, connecting cities and facilitating trade. Simple tools allowed complex ideas to be shared across generations. Life continued, blending work, play, and tradition. In Egypt, hieroglyphs blended art and language to tell stories of gods and kings.
In India, great epics like the Mahabharata and Ramayana were preserved in writing.
Seals marked identity, trade, and administration.
Shelter construction reflected early architectural skills. Rituals sought blessings for bountiful harvests. Fortifications reflected concerns for safety and stability.
Religion and ritual remained central to human experience.
Commerce fueled expansion and connections between regions. From Greece to China, scrolls carried philosophy, science, and sacred texts. Religion was central to life, guiding politics, agriculture, and daily customs.
Art and craftsmanship were key commodities in early commerce.
Libraries preserved civilization's collective knowledge.
Papyrus gave writing new life, portable, flexible, and lasting for centuries.